Let's go! Dare Rosenthal has entered the transfer portal, and I know everyone is melting down over this, but it's actually a really good thing. So, obviously coming to this video with an open mind because we're going to discuss this from so many different angles. And at the end of the video, we will go into the rumored reason as to why Dare Rosenthal entered the portal. Now, the first thing is Dare Rosenthal was the second most valuable player on the LSU offense going into this next season, only behind Kayshon Boutte. He really dominated during the spring game, and since then, he has shot up some NFL draft boards because his tape is really amazing when he's fully healthy and locked in, ready to go. And you're looking here, he's going up against B.J. Ojulari. He dominated B.J. Ojulari in the second half of the spring game to the point where he started rubbing his hands like this. I mean, you could tell he was feeling himself, and this was an incredible performance against a really good NFL-level pass rusher. So, look, from a football perspective, he's really good, and you go back to what he did last season. He was going through injuries and so many other things, and look, from a pure football perspective, this is a huge loss. But the reason why this is a good thing is because he's not reliable. He failed everybody in the LSU locker room, his fellow offensive linemen, his fellow teammates. We are talking a super valuable member of this LSU offense. With all the changes going on with the offensive line, with a new coach and a new offense and a new scheme, we really needed Dare Rosenthal. We are really going to struggle because of this. And guess what? I'm happy he's gone. Because if you can't rely on someone, I can understand that this was your first run-up here, but Dare Rosenthal had something happen before last season, and then right smack dab in the middle of this season, with, changing quarterbacks, new offense, not the most ideal situation, a struggling offensive line, same thing happens. So, Dare Rosenthal, no matter how you shape it, and I understand these are young athletes, they make mistakes, but he failed everybody with LSU football, and there's no other way around it. Now, of course, there could have been something pretty nefarious behind the scenes that happened to him with a staffer or someone at LSU, and he's just trying to get away from I don't know, but in just a second, I'm going to tell you why the timing of it shows that that's probably not the case. So, yes, the reason why I'm happy he is gone, and I hate to say that I'm happy he's gone, is that your best ability is availability. If you get injured, that's one thing, and Dare Rosenthal did play through injury, and I commend him for that. But if you are leaving the team for a non-injury reason when you have a starter's job and you have the opportunity to really make you millions of dollars, to do this is really selfish. Now, this is why it sucks so, because he was a really good football player, and he was going to be a cornerstone left tackle for LSU, and his backup is someone that I actually like a lot. Cam Wire, a 3-star out of Gonzales, Louisiana. He filled in for Dare Rosenthal last season at times, and then, honestly, I think Cam Wire, even before this Dare Rosenthal news, should have been a starter at right guard or right tackle for Chasen Hines or Austin Deculus, which we'll get to in a second. But Cam Wire is going to be candidate number 1 to fill in for Dare Rosenthal, and I could say with pretty near certainty he will be your starting left tackle. And overall, when he played last season, he was pretty good. Now, the reason why this sucks is not because I don't believe in Cam Wire, is that Cam Wire was a better right guard than Chasen Hines. And I've been preaching this on live streams for quite some time. I believe Cam Wire should start over Chasen Hines at right guard. But now you're not going to have that opportunity. And Cam Wire, I was also considering starting him or potentially starting him over Austin Deculus at right tackle, who was very up and down last season and has played a lot of games. So, it's interesting now that Cam Wire, one of your key backups, now has to start. And then you're getting into the depth of this group. Now, Anthony Bradford could, of course, start at right guard. That was a guy at ORGERON pumped up a lot. Hopefully he's someone that they can rely on. But overall, you lose Austin Deculus, who's had injury issues in the past. You lose his top backup at right tackle, which of course is Cam Wire, now that he has to start. So as far as a depth chart issue, it really does hurt, because as we've brought up in this exact spring game film study, the backup LSU offensive line just did not have a great spring game. It doesn't matter how you cut it. They were not good. So I understand that a lot of people are high on Garrett Dellinger, but he's a true freshman. Is he someone that's going to be able to play right away? What about Marcus Dumerville? I love Marcus Dumerville out of St. Thomas Aquinas High School, which has produced a lot of NFL players. And Marcus Dumerville, his family actually watches our channel, and I have a lot of respect for him. I thought he was going to be a year 2 starter. His spring game was not that great. So I think with new offensive line coaching, such as Brad Davis, I think he could step in and really help out there. But are those 2 players in particular ready to go at a position like left tackle? No. I just don't think that they're going to be ready for this next season. I'm crossing my fingers on Marcus Dumerville. And then you go down the list of potential other LSU offensive linemen. You're looking at some names right now. And Xavier Hill, Marlon Martinez, are they more guards or tackle? I don't know. Cardell Thomas is not a tackle, and so on and so on and so on. It's not looking great. I want to discuss the LSU quarterback battle. And I understand that there are a lot of you that are either Max or Myles guys, and I understand why you feel strongly about either one of the two. I do think that this helps Max Johnson out a lot, simply because, well, first, Myles Brennan is a right-handed quarterback, and the left tackle, of course, is his blind side, and Max Johnson is a left-handed quarterback, and his right tackle is his blind side. So, obviously when you lose your left tackle, especially if you're a pocket quarterback, that really sucks. And that's something else, is if your offensive line is not great, the more mobile, more elusive option is better for not only the pass, but the run. Simply because, if you're more elusive, you can throw on the run and you can scramble when protection breaks down. And in this, just the basic running game, your zone read game opens up when your quarterback can run. We saw this against Florida, where holes opened up in the running game in the zone read game simply because Max was able to hold those defensive ends because of his threat to run. Now, to counter that really quickly, Myles Brennan did throw well under pressure last season. The advanced statistics proved that to be true on SEC StatCat, and just the film as well. His deep ball to Jure in the first quarter against Mississippi State, Max got hit hard because AG2 wasn't great at protecting the quarterback early in the season. And then, the Missouri game was the same way. Myles got hit a few times, and he delivered some absolute strikes. What's interesting is Jake Peetz and Ed Orgeron might have already made a decision over who their starting quarterback is going to be, and they've just kept it under really tight wraps in-house. But even if that were the case, this does change a lot for the LSU offense. Now, I understand in this video I have been really harsh on Dare Rosenthal, but it's for good reason. I never really go in on any one player unless it's really justified. And what you're looking at right now is this is Dare Rosenthal at a photo shoot with this red camera. Okay, I'll get to why this camera is very important in just a second. But, what's very interesting is Dare Rosenthal was a part of this Twitter video that was released by LSU Football on Friday, okay, the 25th. Now, if we go by what Brody Miller said, Dare Rosenthal went to LSU on the 26th to enter his name into the transfer portal. Now, I don't know when this exact photo shoot was. It could have been months ago, but this video was released on Friday. So, this video that was promoting Dare Rosenthal and a bunch of other LSU players, it looks like he's pretty content and pretty dead set on playing for LSU this next season, just to, in less than 24 hours later, to tell LSU, hey, I'm not playing. So this is why I say Dare Rosenthal really failed LSU, is obviously it's, like I said earlier, it's a good thing that he left because if we can't rely on you, it's better that you leave now that we can go on ahead and figure out who our reliable left tackle is going to be. So it is a good thing, but it is also kind of crappy because this camera right here is a red camera, okay? This is what, people brag all the time on LSU cinematography. This red camera is what filmmakers use. This is a $30,000 rig, just base 15 to 30,000, just depending on the model. And everyone that went into producing this video, it takes hours to cut the content into just even a 1-minute clip with all the fancy edits and everything, just for this, marketing staff to have this video include a player that's not even going to be with the team the very next season. Now, the video and marketing team will survive. They get paid to do it. That's not my point. My point is there's so much that goes into LSU football. There's so many different people, from the marketing staff that's helping to build your brand to the training staff that's keeping you healthy. I mean, there's just so many people, not just players in the locker room, that do whatever it takes to get LSU football to the college football playoff just to have this happen. Now, like I said earlier, that's why, or what I was alluding to earlier, was that's why the timing of this seemed so weird. It seemed so weird that you would have, if this video, of course, was released at the day of the recording of this, to have a change of heart in that short period of a time. So whatever the reason for this transfer portal entry, it's very strange, and that's why, I would like to hear from Rosenthal himself and ORGERON as to what exactly happened. And that's the problem when you keep hearing violation of team rules, is that we rarely ever see what those team rules actually are, which leads us to our final point. Why exactly did this even happen? Now, I'm not going to share the speculation as to what actually happened. It has been reported and shared throughout Twitter and all the social media world of what exactly's happened. I've received DMs from people that I trust that confirm what the actual issue is here. I'm still not going to say it because obviously, it's speculative, but I will address it. Now, yes, this is something that LSU players have had issues with in the past. That has also led to suspension, which has also led to the words violation of team rules. Now, once again, I say this in full disclosure. We don't know exactly what is the case here with Dare Rosenthal, but let me just speak on this because this is something, behind closed doors that LSU football has struggled with, and it does beg the question, why is it that Dare Rosenthal, who is being rumored to Baylor, why is it okay if there is a violation? Because honestly, none of this makes sense. He was the starting left tackle. He was shooting up draft boards. Why at this juncture would a young man from Louisiana decide to go to Baylor? It just seems weird. So why is this violation of team rules not okay at LSU, but okay at Baylor, or okay just anywhere else? And the answer to that is, I don't know. And this thing is something that we all have our own personal opinions on. And, I won't address my personal opinion on the matter, even though I have shared my opinion on this on live streams. But it is an interesting discussion to have, which is why specificity matters. And I'm being vague here for a reason. I want LSU to address it. I want this to be a public discussion about why this is still a thing, even though nationwide to this thing, it's become far more accepted. So now, once again, I would love for Dare Rosenthal to set the record straight. I hope at the very least Dare Rosenthal was, able to speak to his teammates and, the rest of the staff before making this decision to enter the portal and leave the team. Or was there a violation of team rules that forced him out? We don't know. Once again, we have to wait till Rosenthal and or ORGERON speaks on the matter, so we'll see what happens there. But like I said, the timing of this whole thing is just absolutely crazy. But, it's hard to give a player the benefit of the doubt because of what we showed you earlier, all the past suspensions that Dare Rosenthal has had at LSU. So, the bottom line is, rules are rules. And even, in 2020, where midway through the season you were suspended, you really let the team down. Your best ability is availability. And when you're not available, especially if you're a good player like Rosenthal, no matter what's happening now or then, you've let your team down. So, like I said, unlike last season where it was right in the smack dab middle of the season, it's better that this happen right now. And like I always say, I'm very pro player. If a player doesn't feel right at LSU and he wants to go somewhere else, I'm totally fine with it. It just stinks, and it doesn't change the fact that, you let your teammates down. Now, a sleeper left tackle here is Charles Turner, even though I think right now Charles Turner is the backup center, and if you are the backup center, playing left tackle compared to center, it's, a different thing. So if Liam went down, does he go kick inside if he was the guy? I don't know. But more than likely, it's going to be Cam Wire at that left tackle position. Now, comment section. Do you think this Dare Rosenthal news changes your opinion on LSU as far as a college football playoff team? Let me know in the comment section below. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom! I think we're doing chicken parm tonight. Let's go!